The ancient oceans of our planet were once home to creatures of breathtaking scale and power. Long before the great sharks, a different kind of predator ruled the waves. This was the age of marine reptiles, and among them, one name stands out with a sense of primal authority: Kronosaurus. Its name is not a coincidence. It was named after Kronos, the leader of the Titans in Greek mythology, who famously devoured his own children. This fearsome title was bestowed upon the creature for a very good reason. Kronosaurus was, without a doubt, one of the most formidable apex predators ever to have lived in the sea. It was a true giant, a pliosaur of immense proportions, whose very presence would have sent ripples of fear through the marine ecosystem of its time. Imagine a creature that combined the lethal power of a crocodile with the sheer size of a whale. That was Kronosaurus. It belonged to a group of short-necked plesiosaurs known as pliosaurs, which were characterized by their massive heads and powerful paddle-like limbs. Fossils of this incredible animal tell a story of dominance and brute force, painting a picture of a hunter perfectly adapted to its environment. Its streamlined, teardrop-shaped body was designed for powerful bursts of speed, allowing it to ambush its prey with devastating efficiency. For millions of years, this titan patrolled the warm, shallow seas that covered parts of our world, a king in its own vast, watery kingdom. To understand Kronosaurus is to understand the very definition of an apex predator in a world teeming with giants. The discovery of Kronosaurus fossils has provided us with remarkable insights into its life. The first significant remains were unearthed in Queensland, Australia, in the late 19th century. But it was a more complete skeleton, found in the same region in 1924, that truly captured the world's imagination. This specimen, famously known as the Harvard Kronosaurus, gave scientists their first real look at the creature's immense scale. Though early estimates of its length were exaggerated, later studies confirmed it was a truly massive animal, reaching lengths of around 10 meters, or about 33 feet. It was not just its length that was impressive, but its sheer bulk. This was a heavily built animal, a creature of muscle and bone designed for one primary purpose: to hunt and to kill. The legend of Kronosaurus has only grown over time, as each new fossil fragment adds another piece to the puzzle of its existence. It represents a peak of evolution for marine predators, a time when reptiles, not mammals, were the undisputed masters of the ocean. Its story is a dramatic chapter in the history of life on Earth, a reminder of the incredible diversity and power that the natural world can produce. As we delve deeper into the anatomy and behavior of this magnificent beast, we begin to appreciate the intricate and often brutal dance of survival that played out in the Cretaceous seas. Kronosaurus was not just a large reptile, it was a perfectly engineered killing machine, the titan of its age. The most terrifying and defining feature of Kronosaurus was, without question, its enormous head. The skull alone could measure over 2 meters, or nearly 7 feet, in length. To put that into perspective, its head was as long as a tall human is high. This was not a delicate structure. It was a fortress of bone, heavily reinforced to withstand immense forces. The architecture of the skull reveals its primary function. It was a weapon of overwhelming power. The long snout was filled with enormous teeth, but the real strength lay in the back of the skull, where massive muscles attached. These muscles would have generated a bite force that ranks among the most powerful of any animal, living or extinct. Within this colossal jaw was an arsenal of teeth that left no doubt about the creature's diet. Kronosaurus did not have teeth for slicing flesh like a shark. Instead, its teeth were large, conical, and deeply rooted in the jawbone, some reaching lengths of over 10 centimeters. They were shaped like railroad spikes, robust and slightly curved, designed not for cutting, but for punching through and crushing hard surfaces. The front of the snout held fang-like teeth perfect for snagging prey, while the teeth further back were even more robust, built to apply extreme pressure. This dental arrangement tells us that Kronosaurus was not a selective eater. It was equipped to tackle the most heavily armored animals in its environment. The sheer size of the skull had another implication. It housed a brain that, while small relative to its body size, was perfectly capable of coordinating the complex movements required for hunting in a three-dimensional aquatic world. Its large eye sockets suggest it had excellent vision, a crucial sense for an ambush predator lying in wait in the sunlit upper layers of the ocean. The placement of its nostrils high on the snout also meant it could breathe at the surface with only a small part of its head exposed, much like a modern crocodile. Every aspect of its skull, from its bone structure to its sensory organs, was fine-tuned to make Kronosaurus an incredibly effective hunter. When you examine the fossilized skulls of these creatures, you can almost feel the power they once contained. The robust construction and the formidable dentition speak of a life spent in violent confrontations. The strength of the jaw was not just for delivering a single fatal bite. It was for holding on to and overpowering large, struggling prey. A bite from Kronosaurus would have been catastrophic, capable of shattering the thick shells of giant turtles or the coiled carapaces of ammonites with horrifying ease. The skull was the engine of its predatory success, a masterpiece of natural engineering built for one thing: absolute domination. With such a powerful head and jaw, Kronosaurus employed a hunting strategy based on pure, overwhelming force. It was likely an ambush predator, using its dark-colored back to camouflage itself against the deep water below while it scanned the brighter surface above for potential meals. When a target, such as a large marine turtle or another marine reptile, swam overhead, Kronosaurus would have launched itself upwards from the depths. Propelled by its four enormous wing-like flippers, it could generate incredible bursts of speed over short distances. This explosive acceleration would have given its prey very little time to react before the giant's jaws closed in. The diet of Kronosaurus consisted of the toughest animals in the sea. Its primary food sources were likely other large marine reptiles, including long-necked plesiosaurs and ichthyosaurs. However, the structure of its teeth strongly suggests a specialization for dealing with hard-shelled prey. The oceans of the early Cretaceous were filled with giant ammonites, cephalopods with coiled shells that could be over a meter in diameter. For most predators, these shells would have been impenetrable. For Kronosaurus, they were simply something to be crushed. Fossil evidence, including ammonite shells with puncture marks that match the teeth of pliosaurs, supports this idea. It was a shell-crushing specialist on a grand scale. Another key component of its diet would have been the giant sea turtles of the era, such as Notochelone. These turtles were themselves large animals, protected by thick, bony shells. But this armor would have offered little protection against the bite of a Kronosaurus. The reptile's powerful jaws could have splintered a turtle's shell in a single devastating crunch, allowing it to access the soft flesh inside. This ability to exploit well-defended prey gave Kronosaurus a significant advantage, opening up a food source that was unavailable to most other predators. It carved out a niche at the very top of the food chain, where nothing was safe from its attack. The combination of its ambush tactics and its specialized feeding apparatus made Kronosaurus an incredibly efficient and fearsome hunter. It did not need to engage in long, drawn-out chases. Its method was one of surprise and brute force. A single, well-placed attack was often all that was needed. This strategy allowed it to conserve energy while maximizing its intake of calories, a crucial balance for such a massive animal. The evidence is clear. Kronosaurus was not just a predator, it was a super predator, an animal whose hunting prowess shaped the entire marine ecosystem around it, forcing other species to evolve in the constant shadow of its threat. The world that Kronosaurus inhabited was very different from our own. During the early Cretaceous period, about 120 to 100 million years ago, global sea levels were much higher. Much of what is now dry land was submerged beneath warm, shallow, epicontinental seas. It was in these ancient oceans that Kronosaurus thrived. Two key locations have yielded the most significant fossils of this magnificent creature: Australia and Colombia. At that time, a vast inland sea, known as the Eromanga Sea, covered a large portion of eastern Australia. This was a rich marine environment, teeming with life, and it served as the prime hunting ground for the Australian population of Kronosaurus. The fossils found in Queensland, Australia, paint a vivid picture of this ecosystem. Alongside the remains of Kronosaurus, paleontologists have found the fossils of its prey, including giant turtles, fish, and numerous species of ammonites and belemnites. The presence of these other animals helps us reconstruct the food web of the Eromanga Sea, with Kronosaurus firmly positioned at the apex. It shared this environment with other large marine reptiles, such as the long-necked plesiosaur Wollongosaurus, which would have likely been on the menu for a fully grown Kronosaurus. It was the undisputed king of this ancient Australian sea, a predator without equal. Thousands of miles away, in what is now Colombia, another population of Kronosaurus patrolled the shallow seas that covered the region. The fossils discovered there, particularly the spectacular specimen known as the monster of Villa de Leyva, have confirmed the genus's wide geographic distribution. The Colombian seas were also warm and full of life, providing another ideal habitat for this giant plesiosaur. The existence of Kronosaurus in both Australia and South America suggests that it was a successful and widespread animal, capable of colonizing suitable habitats across the globe. It was a true cosmopolitan ruler of the Cretaceous oceans. In conclusion, the reign of Kronosaurus marks a high point for marine reptile dominance. For millions of years, it was the ultimate predator in its environment, a testament to the power of evolutionary adaptation. Its immense size, combined with its incredibly powerful skull, made it an unstoppable force. The skull was the key to its success, a biological battering ram and crushing press all in one. While its time on Earth eventually came to an end, the legacy of Kronosaurus endures in the fossil record. It remains one of the most awe-inspiring predators ever discovered, a true titan of the ancient seas, whose story continues to capture our imagination and deepen our understanding of the prehistoric world.